Have you ever started answering a simple question and kept talking longer than you planned, and then realized halfway through that you were not even sure what the point was? Hi, I'm Bishal Sarkar. I've trained people from organizations like Microsoft, IBM, Google, Apple, Cisco. And one of the most common problems that I see even among smart and capable people is rambling. In this video, I'm going to show you 9 ways to stop rambling when you speak. Number 1, start with the answer, not the journey. One major reason people ramble is because they begin with the background instead of the point. Someone asks a simple question and instead of answering directly, they start with the history and the side story and the explanation and the context and 3 detours before they eventually finally arrive at the answer that people were looking for. See, strong speakers do the opposite. They lead with the answer. For example, if somebody says, "What do you recommend?" Say, "My recommendation is," and then first do the recommendation. Give people the destination first, and then, if needed, walk them through the journey and the road. Clear? Point number 2, use a verbal headline before you explain. Ramblers often sound confusing because the listener does not know what the speaker is building toward. A simple way to fix this is to give a verbal headline. For example, you can say things like, "There are 2 reasons. Here is the main issue. Let me break this into 3 parts." This instantly makes your speaking easier to follow. Why? Because the listener now has a mental frame. So instead of hearing a stream of words, they are hearing a structure. And structure is the enemy of rambling. Point number 3, decide your point in 1 sentence first. Before you speak, force yourself to summarize your point in 1 sentence, not 5 sentences, not a paragraph, but 1 sentence. If you cannot say your point in 1 sentence, you know what that means? Chances are you don't fully understand your point yet. This is especially useful in meetings, in interviews, and public speaking. So before you respond, silently ask yourself, if I had to say this in 1 line, what would I say? This one habit will stop a lot of unnecessary wandering. Number 4, stop thinking out loud. Many people do not speak to communicate, they speak to discover what they think. This is a huge cause of rambling. You will hear it in phrases like, let me think, I think what I'm trying to say, I have a friend of mine, he says, what I'm trying to say is, and he is trying to say, and we are trying to understand what he is trying to say. Sometimes people say things like, it's kind of like, how do I explain? Do you know what I'm talking about? What is happening here? They are processing in public. Confident speakers do more processing internally first and then they speak. That does not mean you need to be perfect. It simply means you should not make the listener sit through your unfinished mental draft. Think, shape, deliver. Point number 5, give fewer examples, but better ones. Some people ramble because they keep stacking examples after example after example. 1 example should clarify. 3 examples often dilute. So if your point is strong, 1 clear example is enough. Maybe 2. But if you keep adding more and more and more, it can feel like you are doing a lot, but eventually to the audience, it can feel like you do not trust your own message to stand on its own. A better approach here is this. Give 1 strong example that is simple, relatable, and easy to remember. Make sense? Do not keep proving the same point in 10 different ways. By the way, if you want practical speaking tools that can help you sound clearer, smarter, and more confident in real conversations, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Why? Why should you subscribe? Because this channel is built to help you speak in a way that people will understand and respect you. Point number 6, remove softening phrases. Ramblers often use softeners, they often bury their message under the soft language. Phrases like, "I just wanted to say, this may not be important, but," okay? You are saying if this is not important, then people will definitely not think it is important. "I'm not explaining this well, I know." Hurry? These phrases do not have strength. They do 2 bad things. First, they weaken your authority. Second, they delay your point. Clear speakers trim the verbal peddling. Instead of, "I just wanted to quickly mention something that may or may not matter," say, "Here is something important." That is clearer, that is stronger, that is easier to follow. Number 7, put a limit on your answer. One of the best ways to stop rambling is to give yourself a speaking boundary. Tell yourself, I will answer this in 20 seconds. Because the moment you make a commitment mentally, I'm going to speak it in 20 seconds, your mind is going to give you the words, the expression, the tonality to finish it in 20 seconds. Or I'll say this entire thing in just 3 points. When you give yourself a limit, your brain becomes more selective. It starts filtering instead of just spilling. But without a limit, people often keep talking and talking and talking because simply no internal boundary exists. Shorter boundaries create sharper speech. Number 8, know when the point has landed. A lot of rambling happens after the point has already been made. This is when speakers keep talking because silence feels uncomfortable. They have already said the important thing, the listener already got it, but instead of stopping, they repeat it in slightly different words. Then they add one more sentence and another more point. Learn to recognize the moment your point lands. Now, once it lands, stop. Just stop. This is not awkward. That is powerful. Number 9, practice concise speaking in everyday life. Most people wait until a presentation or important meeting to try to sound concise. That is too late. See, if you want to be a great speaker in the interview, on the stage, when you're giving a TEDx talk, you have to practice it in your daily life first. Concise speaking is built in daily life. When somebody asks you how your day was, answer clearly. When somebody asks you about your opinion, give it directly. When you tell a story, resist adding every detail. The way you speak casually becomes the way you speak under pressure. If you practice concise speaking every day, you will ramble less everywhere. So let's quickly review. Start with the answer. Number 2, use a verbal headline. Number 3, decide your point in one sentence first. Number 4, stop thinking out loud. Number 5, use fewer but better examples. Number 6, remove softening phrases. Number 7, put a limit on your answer. Number 8, know when the point has landed. Number 9, and practice concise speaking in your daily life. Now, if you really want to master this at a deeper level, I want to invite you to my Speak Like a CEO Masterclass. It's a practical, high-impact training where I show you exactly how to organize your thoughts, how to stop rambling, and how to speak with structure and communicate like a true leader. The link is given in the description. Join us and let's transform the way you speak forever. And if this video has helped you, subscribe to the channel. Bishal Sarkar here, reminding you that public speaking is not about perfection. It's all about connection.